Both dragons and franchises are immune to fire. HBO has returned to Westeros with the Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon, and the cast is basically unrecognizable if their wigs and costumes are removed. Are we exaggerating? Or does HBO actually have a reputation for completely changing what actors look like? Today, we're going to take a look at how different the House of Dragon cast looks off-screen. Let's dive right in. How different does the cast look? If you enjoy medieval and fantasy TV, you're probably familiar with how hair and makeup can change an actor from a regular person to a king or queen or a faraway kingdom. The cast of House of Dragon is no exception. Even Emilia Clarke said in an interview that she was hard to recognize whenever she went out in public. As you'll see throughout the video, the House of the Dragon cast has undergone some dramatic changes to bring the Targaryens, their allies, and enemies to life. You'll be amazed to see what they're really like in person. Even if you don't immediately recognize them because of the amazing costumes they wear to transform into their individual characters, you'll probably recognize a few of the main cast. Without further ado, let's talk about all the characters and their actors. Paddy Considine, King Viserys Targaryen. First up, we have King Viserys Targaryen, who's portrayed by Paddy Considine in House of the Dragon. Considine has spent many years working in Hollywood and has been in a number of movies, including A Room for Romeo Brass, Last Resort in America, My Summer of Love, Dr. Sleep, and many others. Television has been good to Considine as well. His most famous performance to date was his role in Peaky Blinders' third season, as well as parts in a bunch of other TV series, including The Outsider, The Third Day, and Informer. Paddy Considine, like the other actors, doesn't actually have platinum blonde hair that he sports in the show with his character. He actually has short dark hair, although with a few gray strands for that extra drizzle of grace. What Considine and his character have in common is that they both have a short beard, which, for some reason, doesn't grow too long. Olivia Cook, Alison Hightower. The next actor is Olivia Cook, who plays grown-up Alison Hightower in House of the Dragon. Before landing the part, she has landed roles in a number of other films and TV shows. Cook starred in the horror TV series Bates Motel, which is almost as frightening as its inspiration Psycho, as well as the miniseries Vanity Fair. Cook has acted in a number of films as well, such as the horror flick Ouija, Me and Earl, and The Dying Girl, Ready Player One, and a heck of a lot more. Alison Hightower has long, gorgeous brown hair with reddish undertones. Despite having long black hair, Emily Carey, who portrays her in her younger years, does not, which isn't really that surprising if we're being honest. Even though she has many complex hairstyles, Alison Hightower still has the same distinctive Targaryen hair color. Olivia Cook, on the other hand, has a deeper shade of brown in real life, so like Emilia Clarke, you probably won't recognize her when she's not playing Alicent. Emma d'Arcy, Princess Renera Targaryen. While Emma d'Arcy portrays Renera Targaryen in House of the Dragon, we personally don't think anybody will nearly surpass Daenerys Targaryen. All hail the Dragon Mother. D'Arcy has acted in movies including Misbehavior and Mothering Sunday, although her career in cinema and TV is still in its early stages. Additionally, she had guest appearances in the series Wild Bill, Hannah, Truth Seekers, and Wanderlust. Emma d'Arcy portrays Princess Renera Targaryen, the king's firstborn child and the niece of Prince Daemon Targaryen. There's a high chance that she'll succeed as the first queen regnant of the Seven Kingdoms at some point, but only time will tell because even if we read the novels, the shows are usually a little different. For all we know, she could be killed off in the first season for some odd reason. She rides dragons and is of pure Valyrian heritage. Newsflash, she actually has short brown hair, but for her part she wears a wig with long silver hair, similar to Khaleesi. You might be shocked to learn that Emma d'Arcy started wearing wigs even before getting the job, but not without some struggle. The British native wanted to have hair that resembled Daenerys Targaryen for her audition tape, but she didn't have any wigs at home, so she had to improvise, and her solution was so successful that she ended up getting the part. Originally, Princess Rhaenys Targaryen was to succeed her grandfather, Jaehaerys I Targaryen, as ruler of the Seven Kingdoms, but even so, in the Great Council, Viserys was chosen instead of Rhaenys because the realm liked Viserys more. What does he have that she doesn't have? Huh, writers? Steve Toussaint, Lord Corlys Velaryon, the Sea Snake. Moving on, Steve Toussaint, who portrays Lord Corlys Velaryon, also known as the Sea Snake in House of the Dragon, comes next on the list. Toussaint has been in a lot of movies such as Flight of Fury, Judge Dredd, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, and many others. Additionally, Toussaint has made several TV appearances in both main and supporting roles. These include Doctors, CSI Miami, Death in Paradise, and many more. Velaryon is known for being very smart and determined, and he's not afraid to express his bold ideas. Maybe that's why he's so rich. Either way, his wealth accumulated through sailing the Seven Kingdoms as a seafarer, resulting in him having the greatest navy and being the richest man in Westeros. Toussaint was originally surprised when they told him to stop shaving since he didn't like the beard, but it was a necessary component of the style with the white dreadlocks and beard. If you meet Toussaint in person, you won't be able to recognize him because he has no hair on his head or face. Eve Best, young Princess Rhaenys Targaryen. We have another Targaryen in the house. In House of the Dragon, Eve Best, who has a lot of experience in the industry and has been in both cinema and TV, plays the role of young Rhaenys Targaryen. Her most famous movie performances include those in The King's Speech, which won an Academy Award, Someone You Love, United, and A Woman of No Importance. With a major part in both the Netflix original series Fate, The Winx saga, and the TV series Nurse Jackie, Best has also enjoyed a lot of success in the TV industry. Due to her Baratheon heritage, the series has determined that she wears her hair silver like her family, even though in the novels The Queen That Never Was had black hair. In reality, Eve Best's blonde hair is much shorter, falling at about shoulder length. Before filming the prequel, Best said in an interview that she had never seen Game of Thrones. So despite the fact that it was a Game of Thrones dream come true, she was unprepared for this huge role. Fabian Frankel, Sir Kristen Cole. Sir Kristen Cole, who is portrayed by Fabian Frankel in House of the Dragon, is the next person on the list. As a relatively newcomer to the industry, Frankel's only past record was in the family movie Last Christmas, which ironically also included Emilia Clarke, our favorite ruler of Westeros, the breaker of chains. It takes a particular amount of inner strength to approach a Targaryen princess wearing only a helmet and a smile. But in the first episode of House of the Dragon, a literal knight in shining armor by the name of Sir Kristen Cole did just that. Frankel has appeared in several TV projects such as the TV series The Serpent and the TV series NYPD Blue, but his role in the House of the Dragon will be one of his biggest yet because he's the literal definition of a knight in shining armor, with beautiful medium-length wavy dark brown hair that flows with the wind when he takes off his helmet. In reality, the actor looks more civilized with slightly shorter hair, but he generally looks the same. We bet all the ladies watching right now are happy about that. Sonoya Mizuno, Missaria. Sonoya Mizuno, who has already starred in several amazing series and films, plays Missaria in House of the Dragon. She has acted in movies like Ex Machina and the sci-fi film Annihilation. Along with the incredibly lovely comedy Crazy Rich Asians, she also had minor parts in the musical movies La La Land and Beauty and the Beast. Prince Daemon Targaryen, the heir to the throne, considers dancer Missaria to be his closest friend. She arrives in Westeros with very little, was sold more times than she can count, and could have died, but instead she rose to become Prince Daemon Targaryen's most dependable and unexpected friend. Missaria has a milky white complexion from head to toe in the novels, although she seems to be a little different than expected in the show. While Mizuno doesn't seem as fierce as she does in the book, she still has the appearance of a strong character that no one would dare to cross, even if in reality she looks like a complete sweetheart. Rhys Ifans, Otto Hightower. Rhys Ifans, who has achieved considerable success in both cinema and TV, plays Otto Hightower. Although most people only know Ifans as Xenophilius Lovegood in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, since most people are huge fans of the Potter series, he has acted in so many other motion pictures. His most famous parts can be seen in movies including Notting Hill, Kevin Perry Go Large, The King's Man, and The 5-Year Engagement. The actor who played Dr. Kurt Connor in the Spider-Man films had a somewhat different appearance from his House of the Dragon persona. Otto Hightower has a full beard and short brown hair. Rhys Ifans, on the other hand, has considerably lighter hair and far less noticeable facial hair. Ifans has also spent time working in television, appearing in series including Elementary and Berlin Station, as well as being the narrator of Sally Molly. He also appeared in Temple Season 2 as a cast member. Emily Carey, young Alison Hightower. Let's discuss younger Alison Hightower from Emily Carey's portrayal of the character in House of the Dragon, now that we've already talked about adult Allison. She has acted in a number of movies, including Tomb Raider, where she played a young Lara Croft. She also played Wendy Darling's younger self in The Lost Girls and Anastasia in Anastasia Once Upon a Time. Her most famous TV performance was as Grace Beauchamp in the British drama series Casualty, but she also had small roles in Houdini and Doyle and the Netflix series Get Even. Even the purest of people can occasionally become corrupted by the seduction of power. She starts her trip as a young lady portrayed by Emily Carey and ends it as a grown woman played by Olivia Cook. Her character, Alison Hightower, is destined to be a major character in the House of the Dragon. According to HBO, she is the most beautiful woman in the Seven Kingdoms. Unlike the majority of the cast, Emily Carey looks pretty much exactly like her character in real life, although we're not sure if she has the same personality as she does on screen. Cian Brooke, Aemma Targaryen. Did you think we were done talking about the Targaryens? That's hilarious. Ha! Last but not least, let's look at Aemma Targaryen from House of the Dragon, who's played by Cian Brooke. With several main and recurring roles, Brooke has established a solid reputation in TV. Some of her most famous achievements include playing Iris Holmes in Sherlock, Dr. Foster the Terror, and All About George. She most recently acted in the 2022 films Trying and No Return as well. Aemma's part Targaryen since her mother was Princess Dalla Targaryen, who married Lord Roderick Arryn. Like the rest of the family, she has the famous Targaryen appearance with long silver hair. In the show, Cian is supposed to look somewhat old as the wife of King Viserys the First Targaryen, but in reality, she's younger than her role and has short ash blonde hair, so you'll never be able to tell she played Aemma if you saw her in real life. And that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time. Bye.